Hello everybody. In this video, I will show you how to measure the effectiveness of a sales promotion. Let's say we ran a promotion for butter 500 grams from a brand called Rami. So the original selling price was 20 dirhams. We are selling at 16 dirhams now, which means that we are offering a 20% discount. And let's say the promotion was run for 14 days. So how do we measure the effectiveness of this promotion? So in this figure, we see that there are three bars. The leftmost bar is the per day sales of the reference period. The middle bar is the per day sales of the promotion period, which is 14 days, we know. And the rightmost bar is the per day sales of the after promotion period. Now for the promotion period, we know it's 14 days. Now how much days the reference period should be, right? This is all very subjective questions. You can choose what you want. Some people just choose 14 days because 14 days represents the same duration as the promotion period. But I would recommend you take 30 days before the promotion happened. Why I say 30 days is because usually customer spending behavior changes within a month. When it is closer to the salary day, people spend more, right? And then towards the end of the month, people become very frugal. They don't spend that much, right? So to get a proper average and not get into these kind of biases, you take 30-day period and work out a per day sales that captures the average sale rate of that particular item. So that is my reasoning. Some people might even take the same period as the promotion period 1 year back, right? They might take something like that also. If you're taking something like that, you need to ensure that the product was available in the last year also. It should not be a new product that was introduced only in this year, right? So you need to be aware of all that. And similarly, 1 year back could be impacted by COVID or any particular phenomenon that happened that year, right? That could have had an effect. So generally I would not suggest you to go 1 year back. 30-day prior to the promotion period is probably a lot better, but you are the best judge for your product. I'll leave it to you. Just ensure that some of the factors that I discussed now are considered, right? So for the promotion period, we know it's 14 days for this particular period. We have assumed it. For the after promotion too, I would recommend you to take 30 days after the promotion period and estimate the per day sales. So in this case, we are seeing that during the reference period, 60 dirhams worth of sales happened every day, and during the promotion period we had 160 dirhams worth of sales that happened every day, and during the after promotion period we had 120 dirhams worth of sales that happened every day. So the question is, can we call this a success? Before the promotion, every day we were making 60 dirhams of sales. During promotion, we were making 160 dirhams of sales. It's almost 3 times the increase. So can we call this a success? Not so easily. We will have to take in few other parameters before we even evaluate whether this promotion is a success or not, as we will see now. Whether a promotion was a success or not cannot be seen from the incremental sales angle alone. We also need to look at the margin and figure out what profit we made, because during the promotions we have reduced the margin percentage. So sales into margin has reduced, right? The margin has reduced, which means that sales has to increase commensurately. For example, if the margin decreased by 15%, then sales has to at least increase by 15% so that sales into margin has a break even, right? So we need to look at the margins before we even decide. So in this case, in this slide, we are just seeing two different cases. In the first case, if we assume the cost price was AED 15, then original margin was 5 by 20, which is 1 by 4. During the promotion, we had a margin of 1 by 16 because we were selling at 16 dirhams. So it's just 1 dirham for 16 dirhams of sales, 1 by 16, right? So if we apply the gross profit during promotion, we get 10 dirhams, 1 by 16 into 160, which is only 10 dirhams we made. However, during the reference period, we were making 15 dirhams every day. So effectively, we lost 5 dirhams every day, and since we ran the promotion for 14 days, we lost 70 dirhams. However, if the cost price was 10 dirhams, during the promotion the margin was 6 by 16 and the original margin was 1 by 2, right? And the promotion gross profit was 60 dirhams, reference period was 30 dirhams. So net profit we made is 30 dirhams every day, and the total profit is 30 dirhams multiplied by 14 days, which is 420 dirhams of profit due to promotions. So it totally depends on the margin percentage for the promotion compared to the margin percentage we were using prior to the promotion, and using this math only we can figure out whether we made a profit or not. But can we attribute the entire lift in sales to the promotion alone? What if there was a natural lift because there was a festival or something that came up and naturally the sales went up during that period? Then we cannot attribute all the incremental sales to the promotion alone, right? So we need to have some kind of a control. So to know the organic growth between the reference period and the promotion period, we need to have an item which is very similar to the current item under promotion, but this new item should not be in promotions, so that we can study how its sales change from the reference period and to the promotion period. So we can discount that growth so that we can know the real incremental sales of the current item, of the item under promotion, which can be attributed to the promotion. Now let's say that for this butter 500 grams from Rami's brand, which is under promotion, I select another butter 500 grams from some other brand, let's say ABCD brand, which which is not in promotion. Okay, I just select a single item. Is that a good choice? Usually it won't be a good choice, because single items are susceptible to a lot of issues. For example, that could be an out of stock issue, or that particular item itself could be affected by the promotion. For example, the ABCD brand sales might be affected by the sale of the Rami brand, for the promotions on the Rami brand, right? So this can result in a lot of phantom lifts. We will get a phantom lift for our item under promotion, which is not true, right? So instead of having a single item, we should probably look at a group of items for our control. So my recommendation would be to use a bunch of items as your control group. Just ensure that these bunch of items belong to the same product category as the item under promotion. Ensure that they are in similar price point, and ensure that they are not participating in promotions. Once you can ensure all these things, then you can build your correct control group for the item under promotion. In order to calculate products at a similar price point, one way to do this is to collect all the distinct prices of products in that particular product category, and then identify threshold points, like based on percentiles, let's say 33rd and 66th percentile. And then you can say any product that has a price that is less than the 33rd percentile in that category is low price point, between 33 and 66 is medium, and anything greater than the 66th percentile is high price point, right? So you can have three classifications: low, medium and high. So depending on your situation, you may want to go for more number of classifications, so feel free to do that. So it's totally up to you. Depending on your situation, you can take that decision. Now let's say that we have identified our control group, and we have measured the control group during reference, promotion and after promotion. So on the right side bar chart, you see that the control group was selling 80 dirhams per day during the reference period, and then it went to 120 dirhams per day during the promotion period, and then it went to 100 dirhams per day in the after promotion period. And none of this was due to promotion, because the entire control group was not under promotion. So you can see that there is a 50% growth between reference and promotion period, even though promotion was not running, right? So this is an organic growth. So when we compare 60 to 160 on the left hand side, not the entire growth has not come from the promotion alone. There is a 50% growth, which is 60 to 90 is expected, right? Only anything above the 90, that's 160 minus 90, that 70 is the one that is actually, that can be attributed to the promotion. One thing that I would recommend here is while measuring the control group rate of growth between the reference period and promotion period, you can also consider using quantities. Measure the number of quantities sold instead of looking at the actual sales numbers. Look at the quantities sold. That's an even more precise way of growth measurement, because there could be some small fluctuation in price. It may not be due to promotions, but generally certain items might have fluctuation in prices. So if you want to avoid that, measure it quantity based growth. That is a better indicator of the actual growth. So let's redo our math. On the left hand side, we have the case of cost price being 15 dirhams. So the expected sales without promotion is like 60 star 1.5. We have a 50% growth, which is 90. So we were expected to make 90 dirhams sales. So expected profit was 25% of this 90 dirhams, which is 22.5 dirhams was the expected profit during the promotion period, as if promotion had not happened. If promotion had not happened during that period, we would have made 22.5 dirhams profit every day. However, during promotion, what did we do? We got 160 dirhams and we were selling at 1/16 margin, and we got 10 dirhams as profit. So essentially we lost 12.5 dirhams every day in profit. So the total loss for 14 days is 175. So we lost 175 dirhams during the promotion. Whereas if the cost price was AED 10, you can work out the same math. We can see that our gain has reduced to 210 dirhams. Now that we use the control group, we are able to get a better estimate of the value of the promotion. So before we get enamored by our control group, right, control group comes with a lot of hiccups. For example, the case that you see here. In this case, the control group got affected by the promotion. So from 80 dirhams per day sales in the reference period, it came down to 30 dirhams per day sales during the promotion period. Obviously, this graph that you see here, it clearly shows that the control group was terribly hit by this promotion, right? So in this case, if we try to get incremental growth sales and lift measurement, we will attribute wrong things to the promotion. We will have an inflated lift for the promotion, which is actually not true. So we need to be mindful of such scenarios. So whenever you see a pattern like this, a dip and a rebound in your control group, you can say that the promotion actually cannibalized the sales of a control group, right? This has impacted the sales of other items, which means that this loss has to be accounted in the profit calculation, correct? Now let's consider two dip and rebound cases. In case of cannibalization, the left hand side is very clear. On seeing it, you will see that, yeah, this is cannibalization. The right hand side, is this really cannibalization? Right? We have that question. So how deep a dip has to be and how good the rebound has to be so that we can classify a certain control group behavior as being cannibalized. Okay, so how do we quantify cannibalization? Like, how do we even identify that cannibalization has happened? We need a mathematical way for that, right? So I am listing down a few approaches. You could choose one of these, or you could even invent one of your own and publish a video, right? So the first approach is just to choose a hand wavy number, or anything less than 30% dip. Let's consider it as cannibalized, right? We can set the rules of our measurement, right? So we can choose a hand wavy number. It will be difficult to explain to business why this is so. There will be a lot of questions depending on how smart your business folks are, but definitely business folks are much smarter. They will come back heavily on this. The second thing that you can do is to take a histogram of all such control groups. Obviously, we'll be measuring a lot of promotions that are happening at the same time across multiple product categories, right? So you take those control groups and put a histogram of all of their dips and rebounds, right? Two separate histograms. One histogram of dip, one histogram of rebound, and then from that you you can just look at that and then probably choose a threshold. It's not a hand wavy number now, so you can explain it to business saying that, oh yeah, we see a histogram like this, so we say that anything beyond 30% looks to be like cannibalization, right? We could say that. So this is a very empirical method of determining cannibalization. Probably a much more refined way of doing this is to look at historical trends. Like historically, how much has been the dip, right? And in this case, this dip should be measured during a non-promotional time, like no item in that particular product category was on promotion at that time, but we saw the dip, and this dip is not a seasonal dip, right? So you need to ascertain a lot of things here before you can say that, oh, what's the probability that we expect a 30% dip in this particular product category, right? So is it normal during this part of the season? Is it just normally fluctuating that much without any good reason, right? Is it just normal consumer behavior? So we will have to answer all these questions and then come up with a probability number or a p-value that basically says, oh, the probability that this particular dip is a natural dip is very, very less, and then you reject the null hypothesis and say that, oh, cannibalization happened, right? So you can make it as complex as you want, so it's totally up to you. So if and when we determine that cannibalization has happened, that is, by selling an item on promotion, the control group has been cannibalized in that particular product category, then we cannot figure out the organic growth between the reference and the promotion period, because the very purpose of having the control group is to estimate the growth between the reference and the promotion period, the organic growth that happened without any promotion, right? So we cannot estimate that. So in such cases, we have to assume that no growth happened, which means that between reference and the promotion period, there is no growth that has happened. It's just there is no expected growth. It's the same as the promotion period is expected to be same as the reference period, right? So anything more than that is the incremental sales that can be attributed to the promotion. We don't have a choice here, so that is one pitfall of cannibalization. Second is we need to calculate the cannibalization loss, which is the lost control sales, and multiply that by the margin of the control group. So each product could be selling at a different margin, so you will have to go and multiply that and then figure out, oh, how much we actually lost, and what is the profit that was lost. So that is a cannibalization loss, and that has to be accounted in the main profit equation, right? Then we should also know that in a given particular product category at the price point, there could be more than one item that went on promotion. So so the control group would be the same for all these items, which are the same product category and the same price point. So in that case, the cannibalization loss that we measure here, it has to be divided by the number of treatment items sharing that control group, because it will be subtracted once for each of these items. So to ensure that the cannibalization loss remains the same, we need to apportion it across all these treatment items, so that when we subtract it for all of these items, we get the actual cannibalization loss. There is no duplication here, right? So that's what we ensure. So are we done yet? No. We also need to account for bulk buying behavior. For example, if somebody, let's say that every month I go to a shop and buy toothpaste, and the toothpaste is at 10 dirhams, okay? But one month I find that, oh, they offer it at 2 dirhams, okay? Then what I would do, I would buy 2 or 3 of them. So, okay, the next 2-3 months I don't have to come in search of paste, right? And it's a great deal. I'll probably buy 5 of them as well if the expiry date allows so, right? So this kind of hoarding is essentially, yeah, it might appear as incremental sales. I know we are generating more sales and all that, but essentially we are eating our future profits. If the same paste was sold next month, if I had bought that paste next month, I would have paid 10 dirhams instead of 2 dirhams, right? I would have given you a lot of margin. So all that has been destroyed by this promotion. So we need to account for that as well. So we call this bulk buying behavior as hoarding. So this slide basically explains what I explained in the last slide. So if consumers buy 2 packets instead of one because of promotion, then that affects our future profits, and we need a way to benchmark this. So how do we benchmark this? We look at the basket size growth, right? Let's define BS as basket size, which is nothing but total quantity purchased divided by total number of transactions. So if we can estimate this for the reference period, promotion period, and post-promotion period, and then you get the BS growth rate as basket size during promotion divided by basket size in reference period, and subtract a 1 from that, right? So that gives you the basket size growth rate of that particular item. We are not talking about the control group here, we are talking about the item under promotion. Okay, so once you obtain the basket growth rate, we have the same dilemma we had while we estimated cannibalization. How big basket size growth has to be deemed as hoarding, right? So either we have a hand wavy number, or we just look at histogram of all the treatment items and their basket size growth, and then check and then come up with a number which is empirical. Or we can look at historic fluctuations in basket sizes during non-promotion seasons, account for seasonality, blah blah blah, and then say come up with a p-value that says that, oh, what's the p-value that the basket size grows by this much percentage, and then decide whether it's hoarding or not. So this is how we measure the lost future profit from hoarding. So we find out the incremental basket size. We first determine whether hoarding has happened. If the hoarding has happened, then we look at the BS promotion. The basket size promotion minus basket size reference is the incremental basket size, which we consider as hoarding, right? And then we multiply that with the number of transactions during the promotion period. That essentially gives us the quantity of goods sold, which are basically hoarded quantities, and then we multiply that with the margin of reference minus margin of promotion, because these items should have sold at the margin which corresponds to the reference, right, reference period margin, but we sold it at a much lesser margin. So that difference is the actual lost profit for us. So this is how we calculate the lost profit due to hoarding. Okay, summing it all up, to estimate the profit from the promotions, we first calculate the gross profit that resulted from the promotion. Then we calculate the expected profit if the promotion had not happened. What would have been the expected profit? We calculate that. For this, we use the control group growth to calculate this. And once we calculate the expected profit, we subtract it from the gross profit, right? Then we see if cannibalization had happened in the control group. If it had happened, then we subtract the cannibalization loss as well, which is the apportioned cannibalization loss, right? If multiple treatment items are sharing the same control group, then we need to divide that cannibalization loss. I think we have seen all that in that cannibalization slide. So we subtract that loss, cannibalization loss. Then we look at hoarding. If hoarding had happened, then we subtract the lost future profit due to hoarding. And then we also subtract the marketing cost of the promotion. And in spite of all these subtractions, if the promotion yielded you a positive profit, like, you should be really proud of yourself. It's not so easy. So this is an amazing result you have got. So congratulations. So did I miss something in this entire stuff? Did I not consider? If you think that I have not considered a particular angle, if I have given a wrong formulae, or if there are better methods to estimate cannibalization or the hoarding, please leave your message in the comment and we can definitely have a discussion about it. Okay, thank you.